Here to celebrate the release of his brand new album, On the Back of My Dreams, ACM nominated Jackson Dean. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I need to bring my level down a few notches because you're always so chill.
Oh no,
It's like you
we'll
and
get
Chris
animated.
Stapleton. I always have to recalibrate my level of excitement.
No, we'll get animated here in a minute.
I feel like you're always cool as a cucumber, which is like a silly thing to say.
That's right. I'm growing cucumbers right now.
You're growing cucumbers?
Yeah, I got a garden.
Is
Yeah.
this to do part of the TikTok trend right now where everybody's making cucumber salads?
They are?
You haven't seen this?
Oh no.
Oh my God. Everyone on the internet has bought themselves a mandolin and they're slicing the cucumbers and they're making these Asian flair salads
Interesting.
just in time for there to be also a cucumber salmonella issue.
Yeah.
These are the useless things I know just from talking on the radio all day. So anyway, your cucumbers, what else are you growing?
We got a bunch of tomatoes. We had green beans for a minute, but all the plants died. Yeah, it's very sad.
I always think that I want a garden, but then I feel like it's so much work. I listen to Carrie Underwood talk about it, and it sounds like a lot.
You just gotta water it and stuff.
So you're telling me it's easy?
It was pretty just let it grow, and it kind of just went wild. We did have a lot of rain this
that
year.
helps. I killed an aloe vera plant, so I'm not sure that gardening is really in my future. Good. I'm glad you're giggling. See, now you're waking up a little bit. I want what does get you a little bit riled up? I can't imagine. When's your energy at a 10? Is there a combination of alcohol or sports or?
Well, yeah. Anytime your adrenaline gets going,
Uh-huh.
no, the thought of being on stage gets me riled up.
Yeah.
Talking about music gets me riled up because I'm so passionate about it. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about music. Let's talk about this new album. Tell me about the decision to call this On the Back of My Dreams.
So threading the needle through this whole project and finding a all-encompassing concept for it, and to do something interesting with it all was quite a challenge. I didn't walk into recording any of this music with On the Back of My Dreams in mind. That song, that line comes from one of my favorite songs on the project, which is Jane. And that chorus reads as thus. It reads, Jane, Jane, leaving me low. I ain't never held on but never let go. Jane, Jane, just blowing in the breeze, keeping me awake on the back of my dreams. And the more that song grew on me, the more that line started rolling off my tongue real good. And it was just really awesome. And as we started getting mixes back, this project was done in 3 sessions. Greenbrook was done in 2, but
Wow.
First half was done before I got picked up by Big Machine, and the second half was after. And this was done in 3 parts only because of how much we were gone and how many shows we were playing and putting down these miles. So it was just we're gonna record the best of what we got here, but we're gonna pick and choose.
Yeah.
The catalog's huge. I'm signed right up the road at Little Louder, right on Music Row. I just came from there. But the more that we started getting these mixes back and stuff, and it's looking. I had a couple options, and nothing really was concrete enough for me to do it. And I was like, well, whatever. Let's just make it beautiful,
Yeah.
And, the way that I look at some of the songs on this record, like Big Blue and Heavens to Betsy specifically, those are scoring of picture frames, and they're just descriptive enough and also just undescriptive enough for the listener to put themselves into the song, feel and see what they need to, or maybe even see their own story, in it, all of the emotions that come from that these songs exhibit on this record very much live within me and all of us, and that's the point of all music, is to know you ain't alone.
Exactly. Do you ever feel like it's threading that line of making it either too personal or, like you were saying, leaving it just ambiguous enough that someone else can insert their own story? That, to me, that would be a really hard balance to find.
This is the thing about writing with metaphors,
Yeah.
is poetry, wordsmiths down here, yeah, I'm very fortunate to have moved here and found a really great group of guys that I work with. You know, Luke Dick, Ryan Tyndall, Casey Beathard, Jeff Hyde, you know, Park Chisholm, you know, Jason Lenning. Just like, I was fortunate enough to have time down here to build the kind of people I wanted around me to be feeding me with this inspiration for me to then turn and take what they spit at me and turn it into my own dialect, you know, or translate it through my own dialect, you know.
That's such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
With these 13 songs, do you feel like, I know you were talking about how the catalog is so big and I can't even imagine how hard it is trying to narrow down what to pick, but did you feel like you set out with, I want to say this with the album, or did the songs that you were picking kind of choose that direction?
I had a feeling that if Another Century was going to go, it was going to be put at the end, and to construct it in such a way of like there's a beginning and there's an end, like there's an opening and a finale, and the opening is big and beautiful and hopeful, and the end is just the knife. Just it takes a long time for the knife to get to the hilt, you know, and then at the end it's just thank you, come again, you know. But like everything from the, not just the words alone, but the musicality of this has so much character in it. Does. You know,
a lot of like texture almost.
That's
like what I felt was
dynamic.
To it. Yeah,
because life is dynamic. You know, it's, and especially in this in this profession, as what we're chosen to do, is the highest of highs and lowest of lows, and like. It swings so far, you know.
Oh my God!
The pendulum swings so far, you know. You find yourself operating at the extreme ends of what you're feeling, you know, and that's what our music is about: is pushing it to the max of its capability of the Western American program. Of you have 3 verses, 3 peaks, you know, 3 choruses. You got go.
How do you feel like have you found a balance to the high highs and the low lows?
Yeah, it was I'm not 18 anymore, you know.
You're also like barely 24.
This is true, but I put down a lot of miles and a lot of crazy miles, but like I've seen people go crazy, you know, and I'm still running, baby, and growing, and I'm very fortunate that my mother and father gave me a level head. Somewhat.
That helps.
But yeah, it's a lot better, but a lot better now than back then.
I know, right? It's like you reach a point where you're like, wow, I can't feel this bad anymore, especially with as much as you guys are traveling. You're like, I need to be doing really healthy things so that I feel better.
When you watch the sun come up and go down 3 times each, and it's coming up on the 4th, you're just like, all right. And you feel your body inside kick into that, you know, 8th gear, and you're just like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Just one more.
Yeah. I can do it. Yeah. You know, I always hear artists talk about sophomore slump, like, and the anxiety that comes with that. Did you have any anxiety about that? Like, was that in the back of your mind at all? Like, I know some people are like, whatever. Other people, it makes them crazy.
So my take is a little bit different on this because I've made projects before I came here and kind of started preparing myself for, you know, preparing myself for pretty much what became Greenbroke, which was kind of my first hello to the industry in that big of a way.
Yeah.
And like that was my first go round, you know, and I've always heard that you've got you've got your entire life to write your first record. You got 6 months to write your next one. And
really good point.
And it was funny, and I was like, well, I don't know if I fall into that category exactly, but I got 2 years. This record between Greenbroke and this one was a long time, and that is strictly based on industry scheduling and on account of me being gone and playing as many shows as I possibly can and taking it to the people in the flesh and in real time in the old way, you know. And, you know, all this is so we can go and play it live for the people, and that's what it's all about, you know.
Now that the album's been out a few weeks and you've been playing some of the songs at shows, what has maybe like surprised you about some of these songs that you weren't expecting? Or
I'll tell you, it's been really, really awesome to see what song is whose favorite.
Ooh.
Even like in the listening parties that we did prior to the release and stuff, it was really awesome to go and be like, what was your favorite? You know, and a lot of people would say Century, and I was just like, really, the most abstract thing on the project. I love it. Okay, you know, and then other people would be like Sweet Appa, that jams so hard. I'm like, yes, you know. But always the feedback of Heavens to Betsy is just magic, and in such a moment in our set, it's right somewhere right around the middle of our set, and it's just such a moment out there, and I'm so glad that country radio has given it this much love, and a song that pulls on your heartstrings this much in this way, in a very matter of you're gonna look yourself in the mirror on this one and have a good long look, kind of way, you know.
Exactly. I wanted to talk about the single because I don't know that I know the story behind you writing that. I know that's been a fan favorite for a while, and like you said, a big moment in the show. So excited to see it be the single. But tell me about like inspiration of writing that.
So that was written right up the street at Little Louder, Music Row. I will never forget Driver Williams, who plays for Eric Church, everybody, lead guitar, walked through the door and he said, "Heavens to Betsy Boy, what do you think about that as a song title?" And before I could say I didn't know what that meant, just a little flash of a picture frame, kind of just like Big Blue is, you know, a little flash of a picture frame of a dad sitting on the outskirts of heaven on the edge of a cloud looking down on his daughter with a CB in his hand, going breaker, breaker, 1-9, Heavens to Betsy. And it was just like a powerful enough little thing in my head. I was just like, okay, that's what I'm going to hold on to through this whole write. And it looked beautiful on paper. It was me, Driver Williams, and Benji Davis, and it looked beautiful on paper. And it was really dark. Benji's very, very dark, and it was the first time I had really written with Driver, and I just started playing it on radio tour to kill time. And I've seen that song pull real tears up out of people and just be like, I didn't know I needed to look at this situation from this perspective, and not in it. The thing I love about it is that it's not a poking in your chest way.
Yeah.
You know? It's a very humble song.
Like if you're in the moment to receive it, it'll hit you.
yeah, and the music behind it is all the unspoken love and all the things that were left unsaid that the man died with, you know, and to bring that into the world every show is like,
it's really powerful.
Yeah.
When you were talking about people crying, I saw a post or a comment that Jelly Roll had left on a post that was saying, hey, like he had goosebumps on his soul the first time he heard you sing that song. And I loved it because I think he called you like Baby Bubba or something.
Yeah, Baby Bubba.
Thought is that what he calls you?
Yeah. He, so I've known Jelly for a little while now, and he reminds me so much of my older brother. Just same mannerisms. And,
really?
Yeah. Been some of the same places, and just very much reminds me of him, and but he's always been so good to me, and you know he is his own man, you know. Really he really is, and he's a legend. He's an absolute legend, you know. But
if he calls you Baby Bubba, is there something you call him?
I just call him Big Dog.
Big Dog.
Yeah. What's going on, Big Dog? No, every time I see him, it's usually a few minute long hug, and
he gives a good hug.
Yeah.
He really does. He's a special guy.
Oh,
and then you've been out on the road playing a bunch of dates with Lainey.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm sure has just been a blast. What have been some of the highlights from this?
Well, we did the Greek a little while ago, just about 2 weeks ago, if I'm playing out time in my head right. That was pretty awesome. That was a whole big shebang. It was beautiful time. We had a couple days out there and went to Venice and all that stuff. And the last two shows that we had this last run were the biggest crowds that I've seen for us on the tour.
Wow.
Which we played one place in Idaho before, and we got out there and we were just like, oh, let's throw down. Like, it was
That's
packed.
fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. And the tour is beautiful. It's a great show. I come out earlier in the set and sing a little bit, and it's really wonderful. And to see what she does, not just musically and whatnot, but like to see what she does and bringing the gals up, the little girls up and stuff, and it's amazing. Like, I don't know if I could ever do anything like that. Like,
when she crowns the cowgirl.
Yeah, like gracefully like that. I just pin my ears back and let you have it, and yeah, it's amazing what she's doing, and she deserves every ounce of praise that she's ever gotten and is about to get.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you're having a fun time out on that tour. When I was getting ready for everything you're coming in today, I was looking at something that your record label sent over that I had never seen before. There's a line in your bio that says you like to make leather goods. The wood burned art I knew about. Mm-hmm. What leather goods are you making?
So I've been very industrious since I was ankle biter.
How would your mom describe you being industrious?
So let's put it this way. My dad got tired of me stealing tools out of our shop, which my dad's a bricklayer, and ran, 150-man roster business of bricklaying crew. So he got me tired of me stealing tools out of there, and he built me, I think I was like 10. He built me an entire workbench behind the living room couch, and it was kind of like my playroom growing up, I guess. But he literally put a whole workbench. I had a vise, Dremel, bandsaw, whole 9 yards.
And you're how old at this point?
10.
10.
Somewhere around there.
And you're just making whatever you're coming up with.
Yeah. It was. I won't go into all of it, but I've done a lot of leather work over the years, and the pack that I travel out of now, that I've taken around the world with me twice now, I sewn myself. It's out of Spanish leather from Madrid, from a bull.
How did you get that? How did you find that?
There's a spot right down the street from B&A. It's called Tandy Leather, and they got a bunch. It's like a Walmart of leather working, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, you just get a hand puncher and some 500-pound test paracord, and
just a few things you can pick up from the store.
yeah. Just a few things, and you just go at it, and you just kind of cut your pieces, and just be like, well, that's got to go to that to make this work, and bam, 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 bam.
I feel like you and Cassie Ashton need some sort of collaboration, because she's always making some crazy cool outfit, and I'm like, I could just never.
Yeah, she made her own saddlebags and whatnot.
Everything.
Yeah, it's great. That's so badass.
I know. Every time I watch her doing those videos, I'm like, wow. Yeah. That is.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And you, very similarly, making all of your own leather goods.
Mine's very, 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 very. It is not fine work. It is very. That's one word that you could use. Yeah, it'll last you a lifetime, but it ain't gonna be all that pretty.
Well, I think it looks great. And then I saw you have a birthday coming up at the beginning of October, turning 24. What was maybe highlight of 23, and like what are you looking forward to? Like any new habits that you're implementing in 24?
Ooh.
You probably haven't had time to think about it.
Yeah. No. I can't remember what I did last year for my birthday. I think I was working.
Probably.
That's right. I was in Bristol an hour working. No, this year we're going to go have a little bit of fun, and we're going to shoot some music videos up in the mountains back home, and up on WV. And I don't know. I mean, since I stopped playing ball, I stopped working out pretty much. So I think maybe, if anything, maybe 24, you got to get your shape back kind of situation might be happening here. But no, I already started eating right, and I tried to do that last year with being on the road, and started that from like New Year's, and cut all the fast food out. And
oh yeah, because I can only imagine being on the bus. It's probably so easy. It's like, we're stopping at Taco Bell. Do you want something from this gas station or that? Like
yeah. So got away from all that and got myself a lot healthier than I was when I was on radio tour and running hard, and But yeah, now I think I'm just gonna start working out.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Keep it simple.
I'm on the self care train.
Yeah,
you know?
self-care.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. Well, listen, the album sounds amazing. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited for you. Thank you so much for coming in and taking time to see us. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate you.